Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Zill Noorain's Tafseer series of the Quran. In the previous session, we completed the Tafseer of Surah An Naziat until Ayah 14. Today we'll continue with the same surah from Ayah number 15. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه بالواد المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فأراه الآية الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى. So the surah previously began with talking about the day of judgment, talking about the moment of death. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks a question. In Ayah 15, هل أتاك حديث موسى? Have you heard about the story of Musa? Even though the disbelievers are still listening, they're not being addressed in this ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking all of us, have you heard the story of Musa? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking this question, there's a lesson that we need to learn from this story of Musa. What could the lesson be? And we're going to learn about it in the next coming of ayahs. إِذْ نَادَاهُ رَبُّهُ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى, when his Lord called him to the sacred valley of Tuwa. So we're talking about Musa. And Musa was called by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to a sacred holy place called Tuwa. And in that place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam. And he gave him the task that he has to go give Firaun and the children of Israel the message. And then next, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? When he called him, Allah spoke to Musa and said, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Go to Firaun, go to the Pharaoh who was the ruler of Egypt at that time. Indeed, he has transgressed. إنه طغى. He has gone beyond the limits of what he's supposed to. He is being unjust. He is being corrupt. Go to him and give him a warning. Firaun oppressed the people. He was made people his slaves. He was not a just ruler. In fact, he did a lot of evil things. He killed people without reason, killed children for no reason. He was a very, very evil, unjust ruler that the people were scared of, and they were living terrified. They were weak and living in terror. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, go to Firaun. He has gone tagha. He has gone to the worst, extreme evil. And say to him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Musa, say to Firaun, فَقُلْ هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى. Are you willing, هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى? Are you willing to purify yourself? Meaning, even after all that evil that you've done, in a very kind manner, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing Musa to go to Firaun, who's the most evil person at that time on earth, and ask him a kind question that just says, are you going to be willing to purify yourself? Firaun's heart, maybe because of all his evil sins, might be so full of corruption. And first, to purify yourself, you have to remove all that evil. So ask in a very gentle manner, are you willing to? Would you like to clean yourself of all this evil? وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَى. And then ayah 19, and let me guide you to your Lord so that you could fear him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See the way that the question is raised. Would you be willing to? First, you have to clean yourself of the evil that you do, tazakka, and then you can be guided to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have true humility in front of Allah. Musa alayhi salam is offering to teach Firaun how to purify himself. So remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was saying this to Musa to say to Firaun. And now we are in the scene where Musa is repeating these words to Firaun. So now imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa exactly what to say. Now Musa alayhi salam is saying these to Firaun. in his kingdom. And he's telling him, هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى? Would you be willing to purify yourself? وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَى? And are you going to let me guide you? And will you be guided so that you can fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your Lord? And then Musa showed him miracles. فَأَرَاهُ الْآيَةَ الْكُبْرَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Musa the ability to do miracles in front of Firaun so he could see that Firaun is not the most powerful. But Musa has been given these miracles by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is more powerful. And to show that Musa is telling the truth, that his message is coming from the one true Allah. So in other parts of the Quran, we learn that Musa showed the miracle of throwing the stick and making it into a huge snake. But those exact miracles are not mentioned in this surah. It just says that فَأَرَاهُ الْآيَةَ الْكُبْرَى. He saw some great signs, like huge, big miracles that would amaze anybody and let anybody see that this is the truth. And then we hear Firaun's response. What did Firaun do? In ayah 21 we learn, فَكَذَّبَ وَعَصَى. Firaun refused and he disobeyed. He did not listen. ثُمَّ أَدْبَرَ يَسْعَى. And in fact, instead what Firaun did is he turned his back, he turned away, يَسْعَى, and he started plotting with his people on how to get rid of Musa and how to suppress the message. He was determined and he was stubborn not to accept the truth. فَحَشَرَ فَنَادَى. So he called all the people. فَحَشَرَ, he gathered them, فَنَادَى, and called out. فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. So Firaun tells all of his people, I am your Lord. Firaun thinks that he is the most powerful and he is the Lord. He not only denied the message, but he got even more stubborn in what he believed, and he wanted everybody to worship him. He said, I am your Lord. So then what happens? We learn that Musa gave him the chance, he gave him a warning. Firaun was not destroyed or not ended unless he got the warning and he had the opportunity to change, but he did not take that opportunity and instead he became worse. So, فَأَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ نَكَالَ الْآخِرَةِ وَالْأُولَى. So Allah seized him in a punishment that will be an example for all of the people. People who came before and people who came after. For the first people who were there in that moment, it was a lesson. And for people who came after, he gave him a severe punishment. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَعِبْرَةً لِمَنْ يَخْشَى. So in this is a great lesson for those who want to have some humility in front of Allah. Allah is capable of destroying even the most powerful Firaun, who was so evil, but he had all the power. He had all his people with him. He had a huge kingdom. He was the richest man ever. But none of that could protect him because he was arrogant and stubborn and did not accept the truth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed him and made a lesson of that for everybody. If you refuse the opportunity to change yourself and to change your ways, then know that there's going to come a time that you will be destroyed. Firaun got his punishment in this world, in front of everybody, and there will be something waiting for him in the hereafter. But all of us have the opportunity. We're not destroyed immediately in this world. So constantly, until the time comes that we are passing away, constantly we have the opportunity to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter what we've done. This is a lesson for whoever wants to have yakhsha, whoever wants to be humble and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a lesson for all of us. The story of Musa alayhi salam and Firaun ends here. This was a little example. And we will continue, inshallah, next time from ayah 27. Jazakallah khair for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.